Have you ever met the connector? Well, he ponders, he helps, he creates, he writes, he speaks. He basically connects people and brings them together. I speak about Paul Solano of PS and All Marketing Group. At psandallmarketinggroup.com, you will receive an assembled group of Paul's contacts and connections that cross into many sectors of life. Please contact Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com if you are in the market for a wide array of services. Again, please contact The Connector, Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com with any questions. And now, here's Paul Solano, the host of Paul Ponders.
Welcome to Hashtag Paul Ponders. I've really enjoyed bringing you fun, informed, intriguing, and pondering podcasts. Many thanks to Hashtag Pod Pro Entertainment. Today's collaborating sponsor, Scott Albertson of Hashtag Project142.org, Riverworks Credit Union, NMLS number 410564, and Remax Renaissance Realty of Reading. Thanks for listening, rating, reviewing, and subscribing. Let Hashtag Paul Ponders begin. Greetings, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Well, I'm going to go right into the podcast, and we're going to talk about a landmark institution in Boston, and it's called South Street Diner. South Street Diner is Boston's only all-night dining destination, open 7 nights a week, and for late night eats, and it's friendly. It's a retro 24-hour diner, turning out all-night breakfasts, burgers, and shakes. And with us for this episode of Hashtag Paul Ponders is Mr. Sol Sidell. Sol, welcome.
Hi, Paul. I really appreciate it. This is Sol Sidell from South Street Diner in Boston.
Sol, it's a pleasure to have you on, and full disclosure to everyone, you and I worked together. I worked for you as a general manager quite a few years ago, and it was a great experience, and we've been able to maintain a great friendship and brotherhood throughout the years, and I am just totally amazed at what you have built with South Street Diner.
Well, I remember when we started off working for nonprofits over in Malden and all over the place. That was our goal, is to give back to the community, and that was one of the things I learned from you, and how much you give back to the community. It's amazing to know somebody from before and be friends with them. I was at your wedding, and then have you come and work with us, and then move on afterwards, and then still have you come back and have dinner with us. So it's a great experience to have our friends that still remain friends.
Absolutely, true friends indeed, without a doubt. But Sol, besides being an awesome person, you are an awesome entrepreneur. Tell us about how you started South Street Diner.
Well, I started off when I was about 13 years old. I asked my mother for a raise and allowance so that way I could go buy the increase of baseball cards and sodas that went from the 10-ounce bottle to the 12-ounce can or the 16-ounce can. And she told me to go get a job, and she thought I was going to walk dogs in the neighborhood or throw newspapers. And I realized that was very cold, and it was going to take a lot of time, and then I had to go chase my money afterwards. I said it wasn't for me, and I became a busboy, dishwasher at a pizza place, and made $2.50 an hour. Thought it was the greatest thing in the world to make $27 a week, and I had all the baseball cards and soda I could drink, and bubble gum. And from that, I had the opportunity to learn how to that I liked money, that I liked working, and the work ethic of pride of work, doing the best job you can to be able to create a good experience and a memory for all. I also like the thought process of if I wasn't working or if I wasn't thinking or wasn't creating, then I was getting bored. I was a horrible student, but very good at learning to be able to see things and create trends before they happen. With that, I did everything from selling hot dogs and sausages at the Palace nightclub and slush on Nahant Beach. And when the opportunity came about I opened up South Street Diner. I had 6 employees and about 3 customers an hour, and we were the neighborhood kitchen for the apartments that were in the neighborhood illegally, and would come and use the diner as their kitchen. I thought it was a great place to see the world. I was like 25 years old and young and dumb, and there was women of the evening and construction workers and pool hall people, and I mean, it was every type of person you can imagine, from some to Redstone, some of the richest people in the city of Boston, to some of the poorest guys looking for change on the corner. It was quite a scene at the diner, and it was a huge scene back in the 80s. And then with absentee ownership, there were basically 3 things that I came up with, and concepts. And first is the most important, is to make sure the place is clean. Nobody wants to go to a restaurant and have that walk in and find out the place isn't clean, or have an unclean experience. Make it at a price that people can afford and feel as though that there's a value to it. And second is to take the brand and protect it. And that's what we've been doing for the last 27 years at South Street Diner. And we love it.
I love it. I love it. Now, for our listeners on the podcast and all, if you've been to Boston or, the old Boston, the point of reference here is at the old Blue Diner, which is located, which is South Street Diner now, of course, but it's at 178 Nealon Street in Boston. And it's right really on the outskirts of the Leather District and the Combat Zone in Chinatown, right?
Yes, it's listed in Councilman from South Boston. We're listed in a liaison from Chinatown. We're listed as the Leather District. So it seems to be that we have quite a bit going on at all times. In reality, we're next to the South Station. When you get off the Mass Pike at 93, we're the giant coffee cup that's right there on the corner, that's been there since 1942, and has had numerous different owners that were shown in a South Street Diner documentary back about 10 years ago. And they had all the owners for many years that were able to come together to be able to produce that. And it was a great experience.
I bet it was. And of course, with that documentary, there were also movies being filmed at the diner. So if you wanted to tell our listeners about what movies have been filmed at the diner.
There seems to be always something filming at the diner. Most recently, and the newest one, the easiest one for people to grab, is episode 6 of Julia from Julia Childs on HBO Max, that they created us into a New York diner for the day with 200 extras and different things. We're at the 25-minute mark, or I think it is, on the movie called 21 with Kevin Spacey. As the kids from Boston and that count cards and go out to Las Vegas, that where they're going to stand and who they're going to stand next to be able to get mustards and ketchups that they use as their replacements and props for the actual scenes. From Hiding Out with John Cryer, Second Sight with John Larroquette, Fathers 2 with Ali Sheedy. There's Thomas Hilton, Fallout 4 video game, the Batgirl comic books. We were in Zippy, the comic books, this couple weeks ago, in the New York Times. We were in
The Equalizer, right, with Denzel Washington?
Yeah, that was a drive-by in the exterior shot. We were in that. We were in it just seems like there's always a photo shoot, whether it's for Puma sneakers or Clark shoes or whatever, a flower shop or something of that nature, that they come to the diner and they use it. One experience that I was very proud of was Jasper White was a chef here in the city with Lydia Shire, and I looked up to both of them, that they would come in late night and tell me how they were going to make omelets on my grill, and they'd push me out of the way, and and handle it, and show me what I should do, to make good omelets. And I said, look, you guys worry about the bread pudding and the fancy stuff over there, and I'll worry about the breakfast.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, speaking about omelets, there's a segue there for the various types of omelets you have, and also eggs Benedict.
Yes, we have numerous types of omelets, but the surprise to me was the Benedict. I always found that Benedict, thought it was a refined food for the fancy people of poached eggs and hollandaise sauce. And I said, well, that's not going to sell at the diner. And the next thing I know, we have 15 different types of eggs Benedict. And one of them's our biggest seller, one of the biggest sellers on the menu. And that one's a fried chicken eggs Benedict with a maple pepper hollandaise sauce that we fuse into it. It's incredible. It's delicious. It's crispy, soft, sweet, and spicy.
Ooh, I'm going to have to work that into my calorie count next time I go there instead of getting my usual veggie omelet.
Yeah.
Now, I remember the pancakes. The pancakes are to die for, that Boston cream pancake.
Yeah, I came across, I try to evaluate at one point of what the diner is and what, as a brand, it's part of Boston. It creates a landmark of the city. So there were a couple of things that I thought that are part of Boston, and one is the Omni Parker Boston cream pancakes, and then we came out that we were in top 5 in the country for those Boston cream pancakes on the Food Network. So that was pretty cool that, we designed an item and people loved it. And it's just it's a very rich, chocolatey, delicious mess. Yeah. And then and the other one, the simple one, is the egg white lobster omelet. To be able to make a lobster go into multiple different locations, being from Boston and creating something that you would expect in a Boston location.
That's tremendous. But also the French toast. How about those? How about that French toast you have?
Yeah, the French toast. We have a brioche French toast. That we have bananas. We have a churro. We have we have a vegan gluten-free French toast now that we use an egg substitute for some people if they like that too. And that's the biggest
Interesting.
growth in the future for us, and is making that right consistently, and having vegan options and gluten-free options and oat milk options and things of this nature. It's amazing that what was once a small section of the menu is now a growing section of the menu.
That's tremendous. But of course, being a 24/7 restaurant, not everyone is going to want eggs or pancakes or French toast, but they may want burgers. You have burgers too.
Oh yes, we got the double stack burger, juicy, dripping, cheesy. They're really just, that's a lump in your chest as you're having your patty melt. We have a disco fries that we put together for the gravy and cheese fries, that we use that we put next to the burgers, and it just is fantastic. It's the best drunk food out there.
I love it. I love it. And then, of course, you have to top everything off, of course, with dessert. So tell us about those delicious desserts you have.
Well, we in-house, we make a grilled banana bread. That was my grandmother's recipe, and we use that as an appetizer. So I wanted to bring that grandmother feeling to the diner, and so we have her recipe for the banana bread that we grill in-house and use that for dessert. We also have an apple pie and blueberry pie that we make in-house.
And, of course, you have to have the vanilla ice cream on top of it, right?
And I have the vanilla ice cream on top. Little powdered sugar, and happiness is there.
Oh, boy. All based on with TLC.
Yes. Well, that's it. You're creating a memory. Everybody sells an egg, but hopefully we create that memory that somebody comes in there for the first time and they feel comfortable. They feel as though they're a regular, whether they feel familiar. That helps to create the egg to be the best egg that it can be.
Oh, without a doubt. And also the frappes, right? The frappes, legendary frappes.
We do a vanilla chocolate coffee milkshake, but then we seem to grow that over the years from everything from mochas to bananas to whatever fruit of the week people want to make it into to smoothies. It's quite fun to watch how that's changed so much.
Oh, I bet. I bet it's really evolved. Now, as far as any recognition, I know you mentioned the Food Network and all, but needless to say, I'm sure you've been recognized by TripAdvisor and other national publications, correct?
Yeah, we're Traveler's Choice for the TripAdvisor for many years. We gold medals for this event for Yelp and Google and Holy Cow, which is vegan. There's always seems to be something, but we've done television all over the world, from CNN to Channel 5 for the Celtics games to this week we were on the news for Question 5 and my staff's response to it, and oh no, we don't want that. Yeah, no on 5, and thank God that survived the no on 5.
Indeed, on that one.
Yes, we've done television with Chef Vikas on a television show called Twist of Taste, which is an Indian show. That Chef Vikas is a New York chef, and he would make a pancake in an Indian style or a crepe, and I would make one in an American style and compete against each other. I've also done that with my sister on Good Morning America. We've also done Telemundo with Wilo Bennett, who was a Puerto Rican Michelin star chef, who is now who had come to Boston to go to school at Clark University, and his son is here now. So it's kind of fun to meet up with old friends and have that opportunity to do television in different locations and not just be locally known, but internationally known.
Absolutely, without a doubt. I believe you even have an advertisement in London at Heathrow.
There's sort of yeah, we don't pay for advertising. We do events, but Thomas Hilton is a photographer, and he did an ad for British Airways called Up All Night, and he had a picture of the diner under a Dennis Hopper looking style diner, and it was the South Street Diner in Wing 5 of Heathrow.
How cool is that? That's great. That's great. Now, when you go into, again, this 24/7 diner, you never know who you're going to see. You've had plenty of celebrities, sports personalities, media personalities, actors, actresses. Tell us about some of those experiences.
Well, I mean, everybody finds somebody else famous. I mean, I was there one day and I saw Robert Plant, and I started to shake a little bit, and I said to the waitress, "You know what that is?" And she goes, "No." I said, "Robert Plant." And she was like, "I don't know." I said, "Led Zeppelin?" And I don't know. And Stairway to Heaven? I don't know. She goes, "I'm 18, song." So I'm like, that's my prom song. So to me, he was famous, but to somebody else, he wasn't. And then to see Waka Flocka or Post Malone or you know, my staff goes crazy, and for me, I'm like, who's Waka Flocka? But the so it's kind of interesting of who we find, each person finds somebody else famous and who they respect and value their fame for. I mean, one of the funniest one was Sumner Redstone back in the day. He didn't like to fly, and we'd come to Boston on quite a bit from Boston and New York, and so he would take his limo, and they wouldn't like to stop for him along the road. Security that they would have him wait to go to the bathroom at South Street Diner because they knew that he would be safe at the diner when they got there.
Wow.
They didn't want to have to try to keep him safe inside of Howard Johnson's on the road on 95. So, but that was pretty funny, see Sumner come running through to run to the bathroom and then grab something to eat before he started out for his weekend in the city.
Now, as we start to wind down, I have to ask you, and it's probably changed throughout the years and all, but how many cases of eggs do you go through in the course of a day or a week?
Well, on a Friday, on a regular Friday, we do about 400 dozen eggs from Friday to Monday morning. That's about 40 cases of eggs. And then on like a Halloween weekend that just went by, or this weekend with the Sunday with the Monday holiday, we're going to go through 600 dozen eggs, 3 pallets of eggs, and each pallet is 4x4. Now you got to remember, yes, that's a huge amount, but the amazing part is we're doing it in 960 square feet. And 960 square feet, to give you an idea, is smaller than most people's apartments. So to have that many, to have, 12 employees on at a time, 30 customers in at a time, and to be able to have the restaurant stocked, that we have food coming and being delivered, prepared every single day, because we can't keep it in stock as it comes through and goes out. It's just an amazing system that my staff does a wonderful job of maintaining.
That is tremendous. And needless to say, you must go through a lot of different types of bread.
Yes, our biggest seller is Scully. We must maintain 60 loaves of Scully from Friday to Monday, and that is a white bread Italian with sesame seeds made for us that it toasts up perfectly. And so it just gives a nice crisp, and does a nice toast for us.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And bacon, how about the bacon?
Bacon, well, I don't want to be a pig about it. No,
Good one. I like that.
I believe right now, I think we're selling 45 pounds a day on bacon, which is, there's about 15 slices to a pound. So, I mean, I don't know how many slices that is or how many orders that is. But on the average, we're serving 1,200 meals a night. And that alone is, from the 3 customers an hour to 1,200 meals a night, is just insane.
That is incredible. And of course, you probably do the Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub.
Yes, it's equal amounts of in-house sales as it is delivery of Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates, Caviar, anything you can imagine. Yes, we'll figure out how to be able to create that technology to be able to integrate it with our systems to be able to move forward. Right now, we just started merchandising of clothes, and on our website, we with Printify, that we created a whole website of everything from cell phone cases, T-shirts to baseball caps. It's got a lot of items on there, from dog collars and so forth. It's kind of cool.
That is wild. That is unbelievable. So it's really amazing, Sol, and how you and your staff have just made things happen, made so many lives so much more pleasant and happier and joyful because of your commitment to the guest and all. And congratulations on that. And how do our listeners reach you, contact you, or visit you?
Well, the best way to reach us is always through our website, southstreetdiner.com. That is spelled out, South Street Diner. That's always the best way to reach us, through contacts. Become a contact, become a member, and get our emails on a monthly basis. We're at 178 Allen Street in Boston, and we're the only 24-hour license in the whole city of Boston for hot food. So that's amazing too, that to be able to continue and manage 1,200 people coming into 30 seats is quite a feat.
That truly, truly is. And there's a line out the door, but that line moves really quickly with the power of taking the orders from the outside and serving the people on the inside, and even outdoor seating in the summertime. It really works out well. So, Sol, I want to thank you for being a guest to hashtag Paul Ponders. And do you have any parting words?
The best parting word is that, thank you for having us, and hopefully we can make a lot of memories for a lot of new people.
Without a doubt. Hashtag indeed. I trust that you have enjoyed hashtag Paul Ponders. Again, my name is Paul Solano of PS&All Marketing Group, and I may be reached via email at paul@paulponders.com to do some more pondering. Many thanks to my longtime collaborative friend and associate, Chalonzo Amos of Pod Pro Entertainment, in bringing you our fun, exciting, informative podcasts. You rock, Techie Chalonzo. With P&S and All Marketing Group, I created a side gig to connect you and get things done. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me at paul@paulponders.com with any questions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Paul Ponders. Follow us on Twitter at Paul Ponders Pod. Follow us on Instagram at Paul Ponders Podcast. Thank you again for listening to #Paul Ponders, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website paulponders.com, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment, #Paul Ponders lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #the new radio. Until we meet again, my friend, stay well. #indeed.